It's important for Tulovic not to get too bogged down with it. He still will have the championship lead heading into the next round in RF, and that is incredibly important to remember. Look at these two having a ding-dong once again. They certainly like to get together on track, don't they? The number 11 is Skrig and the 55 of Toledo. How many overtakes have these two done on each other today?
Quite a few. We've probably missed a fair few as well. After focusing on the leaders and the battle behind as well. So yeah, these two proper ding-dong battle for the final podium position. Good on them as well. They're not going to catch Lucas Tulovic unless Lucas Tulovic runs into some sort of error, and they're not really going to be caught, good English there, caught by Mikel Pons and the chasing rider behind him. So yeah, this is really a dice for the final podium position. When Alex Toledo, the number 55, got by down here at turn 5 a couple laps ago, I thought Skrig may have been encountering some troubles, but he's obviously regrouped, regathered, and he obviously desperately wants that second podium of the weekend, but so does Alex Toledo, of course.
Free. You can actually see there, just on the left-hand side of Toledo, just by the swing arm, if any more engineering inclined people are out there, there's a tiny little mass damper on the side of the swing arm there. It's that little orange cylinder that you can see on the left side there. You can just see it hanging off the back. You'll see it nicely as they come through here. Just a little mass damper to just tune out any of the vibrations going on. It's just one thing that team actually developed on themselves. It's not a Calyx thing. They just do it for themselves. The SAG team, you'll see it in the World Championship as well. They have it with their riders.
Good spot there from our tech guru Jack Gorst. I'll plug the MotoGP tech group for you as well, because fascinating insight over there. And you're right, it's a good spot there. You can just see it on the left-hand side on the rear wheel as Toledo tucks into the slip seconds, pretty much 5 seconds. So Senna Agius really has put the hammer down, and all he's got to do now is keep his concentration, which can be hard to do in these situations. We hear that, don't we, from riders? We heard it from Fabio Quartararo that he was thinking about things that he really shouldn't be thinking about. Like wanting to go out for dinner, to celebrate or something like that in the last few laps of the MotoGP race. It can be hard to concentrate when you're on your own, and you've just got to hit your braking markers, not make any mistakes. So yeah, Senna Agius at the young age of 16 is going to have his first experience, especially in Moto2, of doing just that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, very good point to raise. Just, you know, your mind wavers when there's nothing really to focus you out. Get it right, lap on lap on lap. But it does seem as though he's still doing that at the moment. Pulled out another, 3 or 4 tenths already on Tulovic in this lap. It's up to 5.4 seconds is the gap, so certainly doing a sterling job indeed. As once again, Toledo looks down the inside on the brakes, but no, not quite. He's incredibly tall, Toledo, isn't he? When he pops up out the bubble, he really sticks up from the front of that fairing on the Pertamina SAG bike. So certainly, quite a big lad on that Moto2 machine.
Yeah, I think Lucas Tulovic is just going to have to take his medicine here, isn't he? I think that's exactly what he's done. 5.8 seconds. There's no chance of him beating Senna Agius today unless some sort of issue comes Senna Agius' way. Like we say, he's going to leave here as things stand with 25 points in his pocket, an advantage over Senna Agius in the championship. So still a healthy margin for Lucas Tulovic, and of course, as we get further into the calendar, we're going to tracks that Tulovic knows more.
Here we go. Down the inside goes Toledo once again on a Skrig. Skid sits up and just lets him go through. So that is another change between these two. 5 laps to go. I'm sure there's going to be quite a few more. Of course, Toledo really pushing hard to pick up that first podium here in Moto2, and if he does get it, it'll be a job well done and very well deserved.
Yeah, good job then. 5 and a bit laps to go between these pair. The podium fight is going to go all the way. They are some 18 seconds down on Lucas Tulovic, who in turn is 6.7 seconds down on the race leader Senna Agius.
Yeah, definitely going to go all the way this one. Just looking down the order at your stock 600 runners. At the moment it is Fernandez that's leading that one from Rodriguez and Ruiz. So certainly those guys having another good showing here in the stock 600 class. And it looks as though pulling out the slipstream, Skrig is going to go past him on the slipstream down into turn 1. Doesn't need the brakes to get it done. Already past him and back up into third. Does he bite back in turn 2? No, he doesn't, not quite.
This is a good battle, this. Just behind them, I can see Mikel Pons and Mark Alcoba now. It's just going to have a look at the lap times. Okay, they're pretty similar. I was just wondering if Mikel Pons and Mark Alcoba were just going to be able to try and catch Skrig in Toledo, but they're lapping pretty much identical lap times. So I don't think they're going to quite able to manage it with 4 laps to go.
Is Eric Fernandez and Sol Kawasaki in the field doing a cracking job in the stock 600 class, leading that one by what's he got over the person behind him? He's got 3.1 seconds to Rodriguez just behind him, so certainly doing a cracking job, particularly on the Kawasaki, which generally you often see the Yamahas be the 600 of choice, but they're all stockers, so they're fairly even in this guys.
8.2 seconds then, Senna Aegis just continues to march on towards a second victory here in Barcelona. 3 laps to go when he crosses the line, not long to go now. It'll be interesting to see what he was thinking about in these last few laps. He'll be enjoying, well, he can't party too hard, he's only 16 years old, but he can have a panda fruit or two maybe. Got a couple of years at least left to come in the very young career of Senna Aegis. Lucas Tulovic is going to have to settle for second. He's got the pretty much front straight to himself, so a very, very lonely ride to second place for Lucas Tulovic. It'll be interesting to see if Lucas Tulovic, what his tactics were, if it was the mistake, as we get the battle for third again. But it's going to be a Skrieg holding on to third place over Toledo. This really is going to go down to the wire. We're looking forward to see who comes out on the top between the number 11 and the number 55. Yeah, those two in the background, Mikel Pons and Marc Alcoba, aren't just quite quick enough. A couple of attempts here and there, but I don't think it's going to be enough to bridge the 3-second gap they've got to the podium fight.
Toledo just took a big look in rather than defending, and it was about this point in race 1 where Toledo just dropped off the back of this Skrieg actually. I think he just suffered a little bit too much with rear tyre late in the race, and it just allowed his Skrieg to race away to about a second. Now certainly looking every which way to see if he can get past the Skrieg. Maybe he'll go down on the brakes because he has been pretty good on the brakes. See if he gets a good run out of here, turn 9, took into the slipstream. He's a big chap to be tucked into the slipstream, but it looks like he is going to have a go. Not quite. He had a look, but a little bit too far back.
Certainly thought about it, didn't he? Here's the chasing pack. That's Mikel Pons leading Marc Alcoba, number 71, leading number 72. Of course, these two riders competing in the Moto2 World Cup as well, so they'll be familiar names to the guys who watch the Moto2 World Cup. It's been a fascinating season so far over there as well, so they'll be back out in the near future.
Yeah, Mikel Pons actually had a couple of podiums in Moto2 so far this year, so certainly doing pretty good in that championship. As here we go then, they come over the hill and it looks as though he just can't quite get tucked into the slipstream enough to be able to get past. Is he going to be able to make a move on the brakes? No. So there's one more manoeuvre that goes missing then for the number 55 of Toledo, and a Skrieg holds on. Oh, it looks as though, are they two? No, they haven't swapped places, but Marc Alcoba is still hounding the number 71 of Mikel Pons with a lap and 3/4 to go.
Getting it lit up there around turn 3, fascinating corner. Love watching down there, love the camera angles that we get out of turn 3 when the tyres are screaming for mercy, getting it lit up, aren't they, these boys? Mikel Pons, incidentally, many of you may remember that he won his first Moto2 race right here at the circuit in Barcelona, Catalonia. So knows this place well, goes well, and he's searching for, well, he should, yeah, searching for a top 5. He's currently occupying 12 seconds clear of this battle that's raging on, and this is going to go all the way, isn't it? Now, can Toledo tuck into the slipstream of Skrieg? Yes, he can, but can he get enough of a run? He's going to be late on the brakes. Not this time around, though. Skrieg doing very well to hold off Toledo with 1.5 laps to go. That turn 10, I'm sure we're going to see some action down there on the final lap.
Yeah, Skrieg was quite slow through the middle of the corner at turn 9. It does seem that everywhere through the middle of the corner, Toledo is all over him. So certainly I would say that Skrieg is struggling a little bit more with rear tyre. He's definitely getting it stopped, turned, and then trying to stand it up and fire it out. And it's certainly one of these areas where Toledo's going to have to use his advantage. He's a bigger guy than Skrieg, and he's going to need to carry the corner speed out of the corner to be able to get him on the straight, and that looks as though he's going to try to do it here again, but no, look at that, just in the slipstream, he's not quite enough to be able to get past him in time.
Yeah, just encountering a back marker.
That's a cheeky
here.
no.
Sometimes see that, but not often. Hopefully the back marker's got the blue flags. Yeah, just about getting out of the way. So that was nearly a creative move there for Alex Toledo up the inside at turn 2. We don't see that very often now.
A whole lot. So certainly tyres are Skrieg's left, but as they come into turn 9, our race leader is surely rounding the final couple of corners now, and we'll see him on screen momentarily because it's been an incredible performance from Senna Aegis.
I think Toledo was just on the green there, so even if he passes for third place, I'm not sure it's going to stick, but we couldn't quite see there. But Today has been all about this young man from Australia, Sen Aegis, a double winner here in Barcelona. Phenomenal stuff in race 2. A 12-second victory for Sen Aegis. Well, it was 12 seconds. We'll see it over the line. Yeah, around about 12 seconds. Not that it matters anyway. Lucas Tulovic, unfortunately for him, going for second place, Toledo. But this is the battle that we were looking for, and Toledo makes it at the final corner. I'm not sure quite what happened there. Escrig was a little bit wide, but it did go down to the final corner between those two.